Hello and welcome to Runs with Ringo. Ringo and I are back. I know it's been a little bit since we've had a vlog, but things have been pretty hectic. Say hi, babe. Sit. Can you sit? Good boy. So we just wanted to pop in today and just kind of talk. Things have been pretty busy while things have been going on. We've had our second anniversary at Canteen, at my business canteen. So that was huge. That was last week. That was 2 years for us last week. And also ran the Broad Street run in a Broad Street hurricane on Sunday. So a lot's been going on in school and all that good stuff. But I just wanted to talk to you guys today about rain and the rain. I feel like it's pretty relevant. Obviously, it's been raining. April showers, man, it's been serious. And the reason I wanted to talk about rain today is because last week I said that we had our second anniversary at Canteen, and the weather, like we've had, so for that second anniversary, I guess I should back up a little bit. For that second anniversary, or our birthday, we called it, we had a little happy hour outside function. Usually it's, we had live music and we sit outside, bonfire, just a great time. We've had several of those events in the past and they've been spectacular. Huge turnout, and the only reason I say that is because the weather's always been great and it's been just like a joy and an awesome time. And last week, man, the weather, like I watched the weather every single day last week and it was just calling for rain. Cold, not only rain, but just cold and rain. So like I found myself kind of bummed out at first, like I'm like, man, like this stinks, like this is 2 years, this is big for us, and the weather's not gonna be nice on Friday. Like, man, what are we gonna do? And I was like, you know what? Like, I can't control the weather. Like, I really can't control the weather. Like, at this point, I can't worry about it. Whatever's gonna happen is gonna happen, and the right people will be there, and we'll just put the show. The show must go on. So, came up with this plan to kind of do part inside, part outside, have some music there and all that good stuff. But walking into that, man, that day, I just remember once I resolved in my mind that this is what it was. Like, I can't control the weather, and this is what, our second birthday is coming. We're still two. Whether it rains, whether it shines, whether it's cold, whether it's warm, we're still two, and we still turn two. And that night, I'll tell you, like, people persevered through the rain. They came out into the cold, and they supported us for our second birthday. And the crowd wasn't as huge as it normally was. There was still a great turnout. The right people were there who were supposed to be there. They were there, and it was just a joy to see through all of the 2 years, through the past 2 years. It was a joy to see the relationships, the friendships, the friends that have turned into family, all of these people, new people and old people, that just, when I say old people, I mean like old friends in my life, new friends and old friends in my life, that had come out to support this dream of mine, to see that happen. And even people that weren't there that just sent well wishes. That's what it was about. It was just about the support. It wasn't about necessarily that night, and it wasn't necessarily about the party, if you will. It was about the culmination of the dream, and the dream like coming to fruition and what it had grown into. I had a conversation that night. Two of my very best friends, I remember 2 years ago, the night before we opened Canteen, it was myself and two of my very best friends, Kelly and Steph, and we were there and we were running around just trying to get this thing together the night before I ever opened my first night. And they were running around getting stuff for me. My parents helped out, my family and all that good stuff, but we ended up being at Canteen until like the wee hours of the morning. Kelly was standing on the counters changing light bulbs, and Steph was running around grabbing tablecloths, and there was a tablecloth debacle and trying to get the right ones and all that good stuff. But just thinking back to what that was, and not knowing at that time if anybody would even show up the very next day, our first day that I was going to be open. I remember being scared out of my mind. I mean, I was just like, I was ready for this dream, but I was nervous. I'd never done anything like this, and I gotta be honest, I didn't quite feel ready. I didn't know what was gonna happen, but I remember just going with it, and knowing that I had to get up the next day and come into this place and do just make sandwiches. Like, that's all I had to do. That's all I had to focus on. And got up the next day, people came, and we had maybe about, I want to say like 4 or 5 tables at that time. We don't have too many more, but like now to watch the growth, from what that was. It was almost like a birthing is what we were talking about that night. Like it was something that we birthed, and to watch the growth from what it was, and to watch the people come in, and to watch some of the dreams be fulfilled, and for it to blossom into something that I never imagined. I didn't know what it was going to be, but I couldn't imagine what it is now. I couldn't imagine all of the connections, and that's the greatest part. Our motto is good friends, good food, good life. And to see that happen day in and day out in that place, whether 2 people walk through the door or 20 people walk through the door, that's what we are about. That's what we try to do every single day in that place. So thank you to everyone that supported us. Thank you to everyone that was either there or supported us from afar. But the reason I wanted to talk about that, and also I'm going to integrate the Broad Street run, is because it rained. It was cold and it was rainy all week, and then it was cold that night, but we still had a good time. And the Broad Street run on Sunday was even colder and even more wet. And I remember running, and we got there and we had on, some of my friends had on trash bags, I had on a poncho, and I remember we were standing there just waiting to run, and it was freezing, it was so cold, and we were thinking about last year and how it was so beautiful out last year and all that good stuff. And in my mind I was just thinking at one point, like, all right, this is what we're presented with, right? So we're gonna start running, and all we have to do is just keep running. So as long as we put one foot in front of the other during this race, we're gonna make it to the end. And you just keep putting, after 10 steps you're further ahead, after 20 steps you're further ahead, after 30 steps, and so on. And you just keep putting one foot in front of the other, and before you know it, it's 1 mile, 2 miles, 3 miles, and before you know, you look back and you're on mile 9, right? It doesn't go that fast, but during that race, it rained, it poured. We called it the Broad Street Hurricane. But as it rained and it poured, and we kept putting one foot in front of the other, we kept moving forward, all along the streets, people still came out to support. They still came out. They stood out there with umbrellas. And I remember thinking to myself, man, these people they're probably colder than I am right now, because I'm running, so I'm warmer at this point. I'm warmed up, and they're standing outside on the sidelines just to cheer us on with umbrellas and with their dogs and kids, and they still persevered to come out and support and cheer us on. And those cheers, those little things are what kept us going. So you take, maybe you run a half a mile or a mile with no cheers, or it's quiet, and you get to that point where you're like, man, I just want to stop, it's so cold out here. And then suddenly you hit a spot where there's temple marching band, or even just everyday people that live there that came out to cheer you on, man. And that's just the extra little push you needed to get to that next mile, to make it through the next 2 miles. And then you'd be feeling like, I'm gonna stop now, and then nope, here you go, another few people out there cheering, playing music, DJs, whatever it was, and bands, and just cheering you on. And that was the extra push that you needed to get through those next few miles. And I'm getting somewhere here. The whole point in talking about these two things is because it rained. It rained on both those days, both those great times in my life, things that I was looking forward to, things that I was like, man, these are going to be awesome events. And guess what? It rained and it was cold, and they were still awesome events. Yeah, did it suck running 10 miles in the rain? Yeah, it did. It wasn't the greatest feeling in the world when you were running, but you felt, when you were done, man, you felt like you had conquered something. It wasn't just like running 10 miles in the sunshine, and it's great. It's awesome to do those races, but when you finish, man, you felt like you accomplished something. And I wanted to talk about the people on the sidelines and the marching bands and things like that, and also the people that came out to support Canteen, and the people that sent well wishes to support Canteen. The reason I did that is because when you're going through life, it's not always going to be sunny, right? We already know this. It can't be sunny every single day. Couple reasons it can't be sunny every single day. One reason is because after all of this rain and after all of this downpours and things like that, what's going to come out of this? Greenery, flowers, beautiful May flowers. There may be we're in May and it's still raining, but there's going to be some flowers that are going to bloom from this thing. There's going to be some greenery. So there's going to be some beauty that comes from all of this rain. So you have to have the rain. You also have to have the rain to have rainbows. I mean, I came off the highway the other day. I was going to a meeting, and I came off the highway, and I remember coming off the off ramp, and there was a rainbow that stretched from one side all the way, a full-on rainbow from one side all the way to the other. And I remember thinking, man, like without the rain, man, I would never, it was one of those beautiful things I'd ever seen. I said, without the rain, we couldn't have this, you know? And also without the rain, how could you appreciate the sun? How could you really appreciate that sunshine or those beautiful days without the rain, right? The rain gives us reason to take a break sometimes, and you don't feel guilty when you lay on your couch all day or chill out. You know, when it's raining, most times people are like, oh, this is a good excuse to take a break, right? So we need that rain. But also in the rain, it's tough sometimes, right? In that rain, when you have people that are still cheering you on, in that rain, this rain during the race of what I call my life, the race of my life, you still have people that cheer you on. You still have people that say to you, you can do it, you can make it, keep going, don't stop. When I ran, I said to one girl when we were running, I said, all you gotta do is just sing that song. You know that song from Finding Nemo, Just Keep Swimming? I sing Just Keep Running. When I get tired, I sing Just Keep Running, just keep running, just keep running, running. And it sounds silly, but it helps me. And that's what I repeat in my head when I get tired. And it helps me to get to, you know, through that next quarter mile, through that next half mile. Same with life. Keep walking, keep putting one foot in front of the other, through the rain, through the storm, through whatever conditions, because you will feel so powerful when you can dance in the rain, when you can still walk through the rain. That's where the power is. That's where the beauty in life is. It's awesome to have those fantastic days, those beautiful days where you're out in the sun and on the beach, whatever it is, but there's also so much beauty and so much power in finding the light in those dark days, and finding the light in those days where it's cloudy, and being able to still enjoy life and see what you have around you. What do you have in front of you? Not that, oh man, last year it was beautiful, or yesterday the sun was out. What's happening right at this moment? What's happening? Yeah, it's cloudy, yeah, it's raining, but what are the good things that you still have in your life, and what are the good things that come out of that rain? So I just want to talk to you today about staying in there, hang in there, walk through the rain, put one foot in front of the other, and keep walking. Walk through that rain, walk through that storm, because before you know it, the sun's going to come out. All right, the sun's going to come out. It's going to be beautiful. Life is good, whether it's rain or shine. But then the rain's going to come again, and you're going to know, hey, I got through this storm before. It's okay. I'm going to get through this one. So I just wanted to talk about that because I know it's been raining, and that was a little pep talk for me myself, because I get a little bit dreary, you know, when it's raining and it's cloudy, and thinking like, man, like I wish the sun was out, or I wish this. You'll wish your life away. What are you presented with right at this moment? What do you have in front of you? What's right there that you can appreciate, that you can use to get you to that next mile, get you through that next half mile in life, man? Let's all be there for each other. Let's all be there the way that those people were on the sidelines at Broad Street. Perfect strangers. They didn't know me, half of them. Some of them had signs for specific people, but a lot of them were just out there, man, to support. We're out there because they said, these people are out here running in the rain. And some of us were crazy. Yeah, they call us crazy, but it's something about it, man. And what if that was how life was? What if we did that for other people in life, just cheering them on? Think about that. Even if the sun's out, someone may have a cloud over them. Someone may be in a rainstorm with the sun physically out. So think about that and cheer people on, man. Give them a good word of confidence. Let's speak life into people through the storm, so that they can make it. Just that little nugget that gets them through that next quarter of a mile. So I hope you enjoyed this. I didn't have a script or anything laid out. I just haven't done one of these in a while, and I wanted to just connect back with you guys, because I always want to spread love. I always want to be there because I know I need it, so I want to give it. I hope you enjoyed this today. Thank you to everyone who has supported Canteen for these past 2 years. It has been an amazing journey. If you watch some of the past videos, I talk about it, but it's been something incredible that I just can't even explain. But I wanted to thank you guys. Thank you for all your support with Run with Ringo. Stay powerful, be blessed, and most of all, live life on purpose. One thing I want to say, failure is not an option. Keep that in mind. Let that be your mantra today. Failure is not an option. Live life on purpose. Love you guys. Bye.